Again, I'm so sorry for the delay. I think there is a low bandwidth. There is some network problem, that is internet problem. So I'm so sorry for that. In the last class, we have started with chapter number 15, or we have covered a few topics of chapter number 15. Not started. We have covered a few topics like bit fields, type def, typecasting, and we have discussed the numerical problem, that is a program, also in the practical approach, so that your concepts are clear. In the today's class, I am going to continue with the chapter number 15. The topic is pointer to functions. But before this, let's take a quick review only for 5 minutes or 10 minutes to cover back the last class session. That is what we have covered in the last class. So let's take a quick review of the last class. This is how to rename the data type with the type def. That is how to use the, or how to rename data type with the type def. That is how to use the type def for renaming the data types. There is one more technique which in some situations can help you, or can help you clarify the source code of a C program. That is, this is a concept that helps you to clarify the source code of a C program that is available in C language. That concept is known as the type def declaration. Its purpose is to redefine the name of an existing variable type. For example, I have declared the type as int. So this type def provides the provision to use another name for the data type. For example, now int will be replaced by the Harry, or float will be replaced by the moon. So this is an example. This is an example that is given, that we have discussed. That is using the keyword type def. This is unsigned long int. This means the unsigned long int is going into, or is renamed as the two words. So two words is the name of the unsigned long int. Whenever I have to use the unsigned long int, so I have to use the two words, and there is a variable name that is given after this one. So type def is used to redefine the name of the existing variable data type. For example, int, float, cat, anything. Right. So this type def is used for changing the name of the data type. This provides a short and meaningful way to call a data type. Usually, uppercase letters are used to make it clear that we are dealing with the renamed data type. This is the example that we have discussed, how to use the type def data type. This is the full example that we have discussed along with the practical approach. There is one structure that is defined, that is an employee structure that contains name, age, basic salary. Now define the structure employee as a, or define the structure data type as a EMP. Now declare the two variables like E1 and E2 for the EMP. That is done by the type def. So it is written type def struct employee EMP. So this means struct employee, that is a structure is denoted. Now structure employee is becoming, or becomes EMP. So E1 and E2 are the two variables of the EMP. Therefore, by reducing the length and apparent complexity of data types, type def can help to clarify source listing and saves the time and energy spent in understanding a program. This type def, this is the example how we can use. We can also use the type def before the struct employee. Then we have discussed about the next topic. So this is the example. Yeah, one more thing. Type def can also be used to rename the pointer data type. So whenever my requirement is to rename the pointer data type, this is also done by using the type def keyword. Now next is your typecasting. That is how to use the typecasting. That is the typecasting. This says sometimes we are required to force the compiler to explicitly convert the value of an expression to a particular data type. That is, sometimes there is a requirement, or sometimes we are forcefully set the compiler to explicitly value the expression to a particular data type. Means we are forcing that I have to use the int, not the float. Although the output will be, or is in float, but my requirement is that they have to forcefully use the float into the int. That is, I have forcefully convert the float into the int. That is done by the typecasting. So typecasting is nothing but tells the compiler to explicitly convert the value of expression to a particular data type. That will be clear from the following example. This is hash include, there is a void main, then float a. That is, a is the name of the variable, and float is the data type. There are two variables that is defined, that is of integer type. One is one is x, one is y. The x contains 6 value, y contains 4 value. Now getting the or dividing the value of x and y. Obvious, they are both of integer type, so obvious, so they gives the value of the integer type. But my requirement is that this value becomes in float. Why? Because when 6 is divided by 4, that gives the 1.5. That is in decimal. But if I am using the float, if I am using the int, then it gives only the integer value, because 6 by 4 is in integer. So my requirement is to getting the 1.5. I have to typecast the, or I have to force the compiler to typecast or convert the expression of a particular data type. The answer turned to be 1, not 1.5. The same example. The solution is that we have to use explicitly typecasting, that is a equals to float x divided by 5. This is 6, this is 4. Now I have to use the float x by y and then print the value of a. This is the same example that we have discussed. This is the explanation of the example. Then next part that we have discussed is bit fields. That is, what is a bit field, why we are using the bit fields. That means using the bit fields in the C programming language. What is the benefit? The main benefit is that it takes only few bits for storing the program. That is, it does not waste the memory, or it saves the memory. This says if in a program a variable is to take only two values, that is 1 and the 0, we really need only a single bit to store it. Similarly, if a value is to take value, or if a variable is to take value from 0 to 3, then 2 bits are sufficient to store these values. And if a variable is to take 0 to 7, that is there are 8 values, so then 3 bits will be enough, and so on. So why we are wasting, or why we waste an entire integer when 2 or 3 bits will do? That is why, because integer take 2 bytes. 2 bytes means 2 into 8, that is 16 bits. So if it is done by the 3 bits or the 4 bits, so what is the requirement? Why we are using the entire integer? They are not any 1 bit or 2 bit or 3 bit data type that is available in C. However, when there are several variables whose maximum value are small enough to pack into a single memory location, we can use bit fields to store the several values in a single integer. So we are using the bit fields to store the data in a, or to store the, or to store the data, several data in a single integer. Then we will discuss about the program, that how to define the bit fields, how to use the bit fields. To using the bit fields, we declare the following structure. This is struct employee, then unsigned gender 1, unsigned marriage status 2, unsigned hobby 3, unsigned scheme 4. So gender is taken as a value 1, marriage status is taken as a value 2, then hobby 3, then scheme 4. So these are the 4 variables that is defined. The colon in the above declaration tells the compiler that we are talking about bit fields and the number. After it tells how many bits to allot the field. So this is declaration tells the compiler that we are using about the bit fields, this column, and this tells the number of bits that is required. That is how many bits are required to allot the field. Once we have established, we can do the same task, we can perform the operations by using the macro. That means first of all we have to define the macros. For example, in this we have defined the macro for the male, female, single, married, divorced, widowed. Then using the void main, then using the struct employee, these are the various provisions. Then using the dot operator for the fetching up, for example, e dot gender male, e dot marriage status divorced, and so on, so on, so on. Then there is the output, that is gender is equal to 0, marriage status equals to 2, byte occupied by e is equal to 2. So this is what we have covered in the last class, that is the bit field, casting, and the type def. And we have also discussed so many examples of these 3 topics. Now I'm going to start with the today's topic, that is the continuation of the chapter number 15, that is miscellaneous features. This says every type of variable that we have discussed so far with the exception of register has an address. That is, every type or each type of variable that we have discussed so far has an with the exception of register has an address. That is, till now what we have discussed, every integer, every variable has some address. We have seen how we can reference the variables of the type char, float, int, etc. to their address by using the pointers. Now, pointers can also point to C functions and pointers can also be used to point to the C functions. And why not? That is, why not we are using the C functions, why we are not using the pointers for compiling or for pointing to the C programmers or C functions. If we know the function address, we can point to it, which provides another way to invoke it. Let us see how this can be done. So let us see how pointer can be used within the function to reference to the functions. So first of all, there is a hash include stdio.h. So this is the header file. Then there is a function that is void display. So void display is the name of the function. This is the function calling, that is a void display. Then there is a void main. Then uses the curly braces, that is printf. Address of function display is display. That is, what is the address that is denoted or that is contained in the display variable. Now calling the display function. So this is the display function that is calling the display function. Another name is invoking a function. This is example of void main. Then void display. This means this is the definition of the function, that is a display. Void display. Then there is a curly braces. Then puts. Puts means printing the values. This means the definition contains only puts, that is long life versus viruses. Then there is a closing of the curly braces. So this means it starts with the void main, gives the printf, then display, then this gives the definition of the void display, then use the puts for printing on the screen. So the output would be this one. That is, address of function display is 1125. This is the address that is given, that is 1125. Why? Because we are using the %u over here for displaying the address. Then simply prints the line, that is long life viruses. Note that to obtain the address of a function, all that we have to do is to mention the name of the function, as we have done in the printf statement above. That is, to display the address, simply we have to use the name of the function. That is, for example, this display function. This is similar to mentioning the name of the array to get its base address. Now let's see how using the address of a function we can manage to invoke it. This is shown in the program that is given below. That is, invoking a function using a pointer to a function. Then uses the hash include stdio.h. Then there is a void display. So void display is the name of the function that is used to invoke a function. Then starting with the void main, then declare one function, that is void pointer ptr. So pointer ptr is a function ptr is a pointer to a function. So in this we are using the function as well as the pointer. So if this name is given as a pointer to function. Then uses the function underscore ptr, that is func underscore ptr equals to display. That is assigning the address of the function display to the function ptr. Then simply prints the value or prints the address of a function, that is the func.ptr underscore ptr. Then uses the pointer variable for this one that invokes the function display. Then this is the definition of the void display. This is the definition of the function. Then simply prints or puts long life viruses. The output would be the same output, address of the function display. The same line is written. What is the address? That is the func._ptr that contains the display address, that is 1125. Then simply puts the value or simply prints the value, that is long life viruses. In main function, we declare the function display as a function returning nothing, but what are we to make of the declaration? Now, this says in main function, we declare the function display as a function that returns nothing. So this is a function that returns nothing, but what we have to make of the declaration? This declaration comes in the next line. We are obviously declaring something that, like display, would return nothing, but what is it and why function ptr enclosed in the parenthesis? If we glance through or down a few lines in a program, we see the statement this one. That is, display is the function that display nothing, but it is using with the function ptr for returning the values. This says function ptr is been assigned the address of the display function. Therefore, function ptr must be a pointer to the function display. So this is the pointer to the function display. Therefore, all the declaration this one means is that function ptr is a pointer to function. As I told you, this display, that function ptr is a pointer to a function which returns nothing. That is, there is no returning value, because the uh, return value is the return status is the void. And to invoke this function, invoke the function, we are just required to write the statement. This is just to required to write a statement, or simply function ptr that is required to display the to display the statement. Then pointer to functions are certainly awkward and off-putting, and why we use them at all when we can invoke a function in a much more manner. What is the possible gain of using this asterisk feature of C? There are two possible uses. Means what are the uses of what is the usage of using the pointer to functions? The first use is that it is used in implementing callback mechanism that is used popularly in Windows programming. So these are the various applications, that is whenever we are using the Windows programming, this is more suitable. That is, what is more suitable? That is usage of the pointer to functions in binding functions dynamically at runtime in C++ programming. The first of these topics is discussed in Chapter 17 briefly. That is how Windows programming is done by using the pointer to function. But till now, you have to understand the concept that we are using the function to pointers so that we are able to display the addresses of the different variables, different functions, so that it can be used with the different examples. Then next topic is functions returning pointers. That is how functions are used to return the pointers. Till now we have discussed the pointer to a function. Now the next topic is how functions return the pointer values. That is the output or the return type of the function is of pointer type. So let's start with the next topic, that is the function returning the pointers. Or first of all, I think we have to discuss about this term, that is how to use the pointer to the function. We have to discuss the practical approach of this one so that your concepts are clear. So just a minute. Yeah, for example, I'm using one simple program that is used to display the address of the function, address of one function. So let's take a practical approach of this one. clearing the screen, then uses the show function. So this show function is used, or this is the function that is used for the, or this is used for invoking a function that uses the printf for displaying the address for the show. So this percentage is u is used for displaying the address, then gets ch. Whenever the cursor moves over here, this directly moves to the this one. This means when the cursor is over here, this moves the cursor to this one. This is the definition of this one. So simply prints the address of show is. This line will be printed, that is the address of show is. Then uses the next printf, that is the address of show. So the address of show is this one, that is the 684. So this is the concept how we are using the pointer to a function. Now I have changed one thing. I have introduced one variable, that is a pointer variable. So first of all I have saved this one, that is saved. The example of this one is of pointer to a function. This is pointer to function. Then I have to again save as this one to next part. Suppose I have changed this one, int show is as it is. Now I have to use one pointer variable, that is int pointer. Pointer is denoted by asterisk p. Then there is a curly braces or parenthesis. Then uses the this one. Then uses p equals to show, because I have to store the value variable or value of address of the show to the p. Then uses the ampersand p equals to this one, that is simply delete this one, that is asterisk p. Then there is a curly braces, this one, right. Now using the next one, that is simply prints the value of show. This line will be important. I have deleted that line, that is simply printf percentage u, then uses the show, then give the semicolon. Now uses this one, simply address of function is this one, the same will be printed. Now if I compile this code, there is one error, that is cannot convert int into int star dot, that is cannot convert this into this one, that is we cannot use the variable over here. Suppose if I declare this one, or if I remove this one, what is the error right now? Warning, pointer should return a value, that is p equals to show. This is not parenthesis, I think. Yeah, this is not parenthesis. Now if I compile this code, there is no error. So the address of show is 694. So this means I have declared one pointer. This is the pointer, that is a pointer p, as a function that is pointer to a function. This is a pointer to a function. Then uses the clear screen for clearing the screen. Then store the output or store the address of show into the p variable. Then simply uses the pointer p as a function. Then simply prints the value of the show by using the, or print the address of the show by using the show function, by using the show word, and uses the ampersand or percentage u, that is the unsigned. Then uses the get ch. Then there is a curly braces. Then this is the definition of the show function. Simply prints the line, that is address of show is this one. So this is the same program, but with the usage of the next one, that is with the usage of next point. Suppose I have given this name, that is pointer to function dot c, right. So this is how we can get. We can also compile for this from this one. We can also execute from this one. We can also give this one. We can give this one. We can also run from this one. That is a control F9. These are the various warning that function should return a value. So this is the usage of the pointer to function, that how we are using the pointer to functions. So now let's take move to the next part. The next part is function returning the pointer. Till now we have discussed the pointer to a functions. Now the next topic is how the functions return the pointer variable. That is the return type of function is in the pointer form. So this is the way functions return an integer, float or double or any other data type. It can also even return a pointer. That is in the similar way as the function returns the integer values, float values, double values, and any values. Yeah, any values can be given for this one. Function can also return the pointers. That is the next part. The following program illustrate this one. That is the program that illustrate how a function returns the pointer. This is only a function, or this is a pointer function that is used. That is int asterisk pointer fun. That is fun is a pointer function, or fun is a pointer function that is denoted by the star fun. Then there is a parenthesis. Then uses the void main. So void main is the entry gate that stores int pointer p. So pointer p is a pointer variable that is of integer type. Then uses the p equals to fun. So p is the variable that stores the output of the fun. That is the fun function gives the output of this one. Then this will be closed. Now this is the definition of the int pointer fun function. So this is the definition of this one, that is int pointer fun, that is static int I equals to 20. That is I takes the value as a 20, that is of static type, then returns the value of I. That is the 20 is returning by passing the address. So this is the example how we are passing the addresses, how we are passing the pointer to a function. That is the return type of the function is pointers. This is the explanation of the program. This program just indicates how an integer pointer can be returned from a function. That is how integer pointer can be returned from the function. Beyond that, it does not serve any useful purpose. This concept can be put to use while, while handling the string. So this concept is generally used or mostly used when we are using the or when we are handling the string programs. That is, the string means a collection of characters. For example, look at the following program which copies one string to the another and then returns a pointer to the target string. So this is the example that we are using this one. So this is starting with the char, that is a one is a pointer that is used. One pointer that is used, that is a char pointer copy. That copy is a pointer variable that have two arguments. One is char star, another one is char star. Then uses the void main function that starts with the void main function. Then declare the various pointers, like str is a pointer that is of character type. Copy is a copy is a pointer that is of character type that takes two arguments. One is of character pointer, another one is of also of character pointers. Then uses the source. Source is an array variable that contains some values, some characters. For example, the source contains a JADED, that is JADED. Then uses the target as a array. So target is also an array that takes or that input 10 values that start from the 0 and ending with 9. So this takes 10 values. Now uses the copy function for copying the value. That is str equals to copy That is, copy function is used for copying the source into the target. So the source value is converted or is transferred to the next part, that is the target part. Then the output of this one, that is the output of copy function, is stored into the or is stored into the variable, that is the str. Then uses the printf for printing the values, that has a value str. So this is the usage of the various pointer that is used by using the void main functions. Then this is the definition of the this function, that is the char pointer copy, char pointer t, char pointer s. Then uses the char pointer r, this is the variable that is declared. Then uses r equals to t. Then uses the while, that is uses the while loop. This will execute until it becomes the null, that is until it becomes the null value, it becomes to the last part. Till now it will be executed. That is also a pointer. Then this is used for the storing the values, that is the pointer s is stored or is given the values into the pointer t, that is t stores the value of the pointer s. Then there is a t plus plus and there is a s plus plus, that is t plus plus means incrementing the t every time, s plus plus means incrementing the s every times. Now this is this one, that is the s plus plus, here it is closed. Now again check the condition for the pointer t equals to null, that is it also checks the condition for the null characters that is given in the t. Then returns the value of the r, that is the r will be returned by using the return type. R is also a pointer type. So this is an example that shows how functions returns the pointer values. So this says here we have spent the base address of source and the target string to the copy function. That is, we have sent the means we have used the addresses of the target and the copy. We are not simply copying the content of the target and the source. No, we are using the addresses of the target and the source, and they can be transferred from one end to the another end. In the copy function, comma, the while loop copies the characters in the source string into the target string. So this while loop is used, that is check the condition until it becomes the null characters. Then uses the pointer s equals to or pointer t equals to pointer s, that is pointer s is a source and pointer t is a target. So source is transferring to the target, that is the address of source is transferring to the target one by one. That's why we are using the while loop, and that's why we are using the plus plus, so that it can be transferred from source to the target addresses one by one, that is one after the another. This says since during copying it is continuously incremented. That's why I'm saying, or I've said, that is t plus plus or the s plus plus. Before entering into the loop, the initial value of t is safely stored in the character pointer r. That is, it is stored in the character pointer r, that is a char pointer r. Once copying is over, this character pointer r is returned to the main function. That is, this character pointer, that is r, is returned to the main function, that is a return r. Now the next topic is function with variable number of arguments. That means how to use the function with n number of arguments. Till now we have discussed the 4 number of arguments, 8 number of 2 number of arguments, that is there are 2 number of variable that is given in the parenthesis. Now this is a function, or how to use a function with the variable number of arguments. So first of all, let's take a break, then continue with this session or continue with this topic, that is how functions are using with n number of or variable number of arguments. So let's take a break for 10 minutes and come back starting with this topic. So let's take a break. Come back from the break. Let's start with the session. Our next topic is functions with variable number of arguments. That is, there are n number of arguments in the function. That is, in the parenthesis there are n number of or variable number of arguments. This says we have used printf to so often without realizing how it works properly, irrespective of how many arguments we pass to it. That is, we have used printf so many times without realizing how many arguments we are passing in this. That is, how many printf we are using or how many variables we are using. I will tell you at the end of the session how it works properly irrespective of how many arguments we pass to it. Means we have used printf, but we are not considering that how many variables or how many values of variable we are able to print with the printf and so on. So how do we do about writing such routines that can take variable number of arguments, and what we have pointers got to do with it? There are three macro available in the file. That is a header file, that is stdarg.h, and the three macros that is available are va start, va argument, va list, which allows us to handle this situation. These macros provides a method for accessing the arguments of the function when a function takes a fixed number of arguments followed by a variable number of arguments. That is, these macros provides a method or provides a provision for accessing the arguments of a function when a function takes a fixed number of arguments. That is, when there is a fixed number of arguments that is followed by the variable number of arguments. The fixed number of arguments are accessed in the normal way. Joseph and Olesen, I will clear your all doubts, but after the class, that is after the session is over. So please, so these macros provides a method for accessing the arguments of the function when a function takes a fixed number of arguments that is followed by the variable number of arguments. The fixed numbers are accessed in the normal form, whereas the optional argument, that is the variable arguments, are accessed using the macros. What are the macros we are using? That is va start and the va argument. Out of this, the va start is used to initialize a pointer. On the other hand, va argument is used to advance the pointer to the next argument. Let us put this concept into action by using a program. Suppose we wish to write a function, that is a find max function, which would find the maximum value from a set of values irrespective of the number of values passed to it. How we can do this? So this is the header file that must be included in this one, that is hash include str, that is hash include stdarg.h. Then uses the function, that is the function name is find max, that is finding the maximum value out of the given values, and the return type is int, and in the parenthesis there are different arguments. One is of integer type, another is also of integer type, or it may be a float type, double type, any one of the data type that is available. Then there is a void main, that is the main function. Then there is a variable, that is a max, that is the int max. Then uses the max for storing the return type of the function, that is the find max. So this is the find max is the function that is used to find the maximum. These are the various arguments. These are the various parameters, that is 5, 23, 15, 192, 50. Then printf the maximum value as a max. Now again uses the max equals to find max, again uses the arguments, then again uses the printf for printing the max value, right? Then uses the int find max. That is, this is the definition of this function. This is the function calling, and this is the definition, that is find max int tot number, that is the total number that has a return type that is of integer. Then uses int max count num, that is these are the three variables that is used. One is max, one is count, one is num. Then uses va list ptr, that is va list is a type. As I told you, there are three types: va start, va list, va end, va argument. So va list is a function that is used that has a type, or ptr is a pointer that is of type va list, then uses the va start, then uses two arguments ptr and the total number, then maximum equals to, that is max equals to va argument ptr int, that is using the pointer variable to store the value of the integer, right? This is the main part, these three are the main parts. Then uses the for function, uses the for starting with the first one, that is count equals to 1, count is less than total number, count plus plus. So this is count equals to 1, count is less than total number, and there is a count plus plus. That means it starts with the value 1. The condition is that it counts until the total number becomes, or until it reaches to the total number, and there is a count plus plus. Every time, this means every time it will be incremented. First of all it will be 1, then 2, and so on till it reaches to the total number. Then num equals to va argument, that is again using the va argument, that is ptr int, and passes this or the output of va argument into the num. Then check the condition, that is if num is greater than max, that is if the num value is greater than the maximum value, then write down or print the value of maximum equals to num, that is now the maximum value is the num. Then this is the closing of the for function. So this is the definition, or this is the definition of the function that is a find max, and these are the variables that is declared, like max, count, num, and these are the various arguments that is used. One is va list, one is va start, one is va argument. So this find max function has been declared, and it will return the value by using this return max. So this max value will be returned from this function. So find max is a function that returns the maximum value, that is the max function. Note how the find max function has been declared. The ellipses, that is dot dot dot, indicate that the number of argument after the first argument would be variable. That is an argument that is given, or argument that is a number of argument after the first argument would be a variable. Here we are making two calls to the find max. First time to find out the maximum of 5 values, and second time to find out the maximum of out of 3 values. Note that for each call the first argument is the count of the argument that follows the first argument. The value of the first argument passed to the find max is collected in the variable total find. So this is the explanation of this program, that how it works whenever there is a large number of arguments, whenever there is a n number of arguments for this program. This is another program. This program you have to study by yourself, and if there is any doubt then I will clarify the doubt, but I will not explain each and everything to you. Alright, now comes to the next part, that is a union. So first of all let's take a practical approach on some topics, then move to this one. Now one of the doubt of the OLSM is that is also my doubt, not OLSM doubt. In day before yesterday or in Friday's class we have talked about the program that is used to find the smallest of 3 numbers, and we are not able to do this due to some error. So now let's see what is the error in this program, that is how to find the smallest out of the 3 number, or how to find the smallest of the 3 numbers. So let's take again the practical approach. This is the smallest number. The same program is opened over here. In this we have used hash include stdi.h, hash include conio.h. First of all, OLSM, are you able to hear me? OLSM, are you able to hear me? Okay, so look at the program. This is the smallest program. We have used another yes, 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 Now it's okay or it's not visible? Okay, just a minute. Now it's visible? Okay. Now it's visible? Okay. So this is the again the header file, that is conio.h. Then there is a void main. So this is a void main that is used for the entry gate. We have declared three variables. One is a, one is b, one is c, one is smallest. Sorry, not three variables but the four variables, and four are of integer types. Then there is a clear screen, that is CLR SCR. Then uses the printf statement for printing on the screen, that is enter the three numbers. So this will be printed as it is, that is enter the three numbers. Then uses the scanf for scanning into the memory, percentage %d, percentage %d, percentage %d, a, b, c. Then uses if a is less than b, that is check the condition. If a is less than b, then uses the nested if, that is one if is used within the another if. Again check if a is less than c, that is a is less than b, then again check for the condition. If a is less than c, that means a is less than the b and the c both. If a is less than b and the c both, then simply print smallest equals to a, else smallest equals to c. That means if a is less than b and c, then simply write down the smallest value is a, otherwise the smallest value is c. Then again uses the else part. That means if this is not available, then uses the else part. Now check for the if a, b is less than c. Now check for the b and c. Why? Because a is carried out, or a is compared with b and c both. Now b is compared with the c. If b is less than c, a is already covered. If b is less than c, then smallest equals to b, otherwise the smallest equals to c. Then printf the smallest number. Now if I execute this code, there is some error. There is no error. Suppose if I this one, yeah, there is a garbage value, that is the value is not perfect. The main reason is that in scanf we have not used the ampersand sign. This is the main problem. In scanf we scan into the memory, we drop into the memory, so we have to, or we must to use the ampersand over here. Now if I compile this code, there is no error. The smallest number is 23. If I again compile this code for next output, suppose I have given 2, I have given 76, I have given 34. So the smallest number is 2. So this is the error. The only error is that we are not using the, or we have not used the ampersand ABC. That is, we have to use the ampersand along with the variable in case of scanf. Now, Olasam, your doubt is clear? Hello? Yeah, Olasam, your doubt is clear right now? Okay. Now, moves to the next part. Moves to the next part. That is, if I delete this one. Now I'm going to compile one of the program of the functions, array. So now I'm going to start with the some concept of the array, how array will be used, or my question is that I have to calculate the sum and the average of 5 subjects. There are 5 subjects, for example, English, Hindi, Maths, EVS, Science. There are 5 subjects. I have to calculate the sum, that is the addition of these 5 subjects, as well as the average of these 5 subjects. So my target is to find out the sum, that is the addition of these 5 subjects, as well as the average of these 5 subjects. So this is my question. So I'm starting with the void main or header files. So question is clear to all of you that I have to find the average as well as the addition of five subjects. That is, five subjects are given. We have to calculate the addition, and we have to calculate the average of five subjects. So here I'm using hash include stdio.h. Again I'm using hash include conio.h. Now I'm using void main. Now I'm using this one for allocating the memories, or for defining the variables. For example, I've taken the variables of five subjects as a B, C, D, E, right? Then uses one variable, that is sum, for finding the sum that has given a value, that is a sum equals to 0, then I. Then uses the uh, one more variable, that is the average. Suppose I have taken AVG, then uses the clear screen. Now I have to use the printf statement, that is printf, enter the marks of five subjects. That is, we have entered the, or we have asked the user to enter the marks of five subjects. Then uses the for loop. Why? Because there are five elements, so we have used the for loop. Then uses the I equals to this one, that is 0. Then I is less than 5. I've started with the 1. Why? Because there is no 0 element in this. Then check the condition, that is I is less than equals to 5. Then there is a I plus plus. Then uses the curly braces again for printing the values. Then simply printf student or I, that is the percentage D or I, that is simply print the values of 1, 2, 3, 4 and I. Then simply use printf I'm using the scanner, but after this one. Suppose I use the printf, then I've used the slash n for printing in the next line. Then there is a square bracket. Why? Because we are using the arrays. So there is a square bracket of percentage D. Then there is a student, for example, write this one, and then this will be as it is, this will be printed as it is. Now take the variable, that is this one. Now uses the scanf, that is if, uses the if scanf. Then uses the percentage D. Again uses percentage D, because there are five number of subject, so we are using 5 percentage D. Then A, comma B, comma C, comma D, comma E. That is, again I have wrongly taken at this one, because I have to disclose this one and I have to use ampersand over here. Then at the end, if I'm going, then there is a semicolon over here. Now again check for the condition, that is this one, that is this one equals to, now uses the sum, that is equals to a plus b plus c plus d plus e, that is the sum. Then find the average. Now the average is avg, that is in float, that is maybe either in integer, maybe either in float, that is either in real number or anything, that is sum divided by 5. Then simply printf the total marks is I and the sum, that is the total marks displays is sum and the average is this one. Let's example, if I've given the total marks of student, that is I've given 1 2 3 4 student, that is given in percentage d because it is an array example. Then uses this one, then uses the percentage d, then I comma sum, then uses this one. Here I have to use this one for this one, and at the end there is a semicolon. Again I'm going to print the average, then this is used as a printf. Then the average marks of student, I have also used the percent slash n for printing in the next line. Average marks of student, again I am using the same, that is percentage d, then uses the percentage d, then uses the I and the average avg. Then closes this brackets, right, this one. Now if the scanf is correct, then only this will be printed by using this semicolon. Otherwise there is a else part also. What is the else part? Simply clear the screen and simply printf, that is there is a type mismatch. Then there is a closing of this curly braces, right, this one. Then again closing of this curly braces, like this one. Then this is the closing for this one, and this is the closing for this for loop. So I have to use this one over here. Now one closing braces is left, that is for void main. So I have closed this one also, that is for void main. If I compile this code, let's see, there are two errors. If statement missing, that is this is missing, I think some part is missing. I have use only one variable over here. This bracket is missing. Yeah. This is, if this one is equals to 5, that means I have to check the condition, that is if it's equals to 5, then again there is a curly braces. Now if I compile this code, there is no error. So if I execute this code, enter the marks of the 5 subject. This is the first subject, that is 12, then 12, 12, 34, 32. The total marks of student 1 is 102 and the average is 0. So this is not correct output. Let's see what is the error in this. Uses int sum, this, enter the marks of this one. This will be used, that is percentage d will be used, that is slash n, then student, then there is a I, right. This curly braces will be used, then uses this one, ampersand, c, d, e, then uses the sum equals to a plus b plus c plus d plus e, average, correct. Yeah, here the average is in float. Just a minute. This average is in float because average I have taken is in float, right? Now, if I compile this code, let's see. If I enter this one for student for 28, 38, 90, 22. Yeah, this is the correct output. The total is 201 and the average marks of the student is 40. If I calculate the average, if I divide these 5 numbers into the 5, that is the 5, that is if I divide 201 divided by 5, that becomes the 40. Right? This is the output or this is the correct output. It will ask from the second user. Suppose I have to give this 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. The output is 30, that is total marks is 30 and the average is 12. Again it asks for the next student. Suppose I have entered 25, 25, 25, 25, 25. This is for student, that is the 25. Suppose I have entered 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. This is 45 and the average is 9. Suppose I am using 21, 21, 2, 2. This will be executed. This will not execute because getCH is not used. If I have to see the output, I have to take this one, right? So this is the way how we can give the output in a, or how we can calculate the average of the student by using the array. So this is a lengthy program as well as the complicated program. I've taken taken 5 variables a b c d e, taken one variable as a sum that stores the output of the sum. Then there is a I. Then uses the float avg. That is avg is a variable that is of float type that is used for calculating the average. Then uses the for loop starting with 1 ending with the 5 and there is a I plus plus. Then uses the printf for printing the student, that is the first student, second student, third student. Then uses the scanf for scanning into the values, that is a, b, c, d, e. Check the conditions. If they are equals to the 5, then only print the or calculate the sum, that is equals to the a, b, c, d, e. Then calculates the average, that is sum divided by 5. Then simply prints the values of the sum average. Otherwise, if this is not equals to the 5, then simply prints that there is a type mismatch by using this one. That is a type mismatch. So this is the program. Anyone, any doubt about this program, then now you can clear the doubts. Anyone, any doubts? Pardon? Okay. So what is the output? You want to see the output? Okay, just a minute. Enter the marks of 5 student. If it is not equals to the 5, that is if it is not equals to 5, that means I have to give the values of only 4. This will not works. This will go. If I give the 5 input, then only this will display. Right? Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, type mismatch. You want to print these values. Okay. If this is the condition of the scanf. This depends on the memory, not from the me point of view. If the memory space is not occupied, that is in memory, if it is there is no sufficient space to occupy the 5 subject or marks of the 5 subject, then only this gives the error. So this is not in the hand of the user. This is in the hand of the memory, in the hand of the computer, not in the hands of me or any user. Why? Because we are using the scanf and scanf is always taken by the computer, by the memory. So this is from the memory point of view. Yeah, tell me. Hmm. Okay, you think that I have to use I over here. N- Now let's see. Yeah, this is also possible. But this is an error. There is an error for calculating the sum. For addition, it's total marks 12, 12, 12, 12. It is okay. 5 times of 12, that is a 60. But the average is not correct. So this will not work. Yeah, not correct. Because we are using the printf for loop for the printf statement for printing for the 5 times. So we have to use the 5 numeric 5 over here. Any other doubts? Anyone? Now, I will come to your doubts. I think there are so many doubts that what is the assignment problem, where we can do the assignment, and so on, so on, so on. Now you can tell me one by one, what is the main crux, what is the main problem for you? One chat is there for the Nelda, that is, can we divide sum by I instead? Asha, okay, you are the Nelda. Okay, right, this is clear. Are we not going using scanf? This is also clear. Okay. This says, I want to know if you give assignment or assessment questions at the end of the semester. Yeah, it's true. At the end of the semester or by ending of this module, I will give the assignment assessment for both the modules. One module is computer programming that we have covered, that is computer system. Then this module is procedural programming. So I will give both the module assignment at the same go. That is at the same time, both module assignment are given to you. All right, Joseph. One doubt is for OLSM. Sir, one doubt is for OLSM. Sir, when is our assessment coming up? The same answer. When this module is finished, both the assignment, both the assessment will be given to you. Both the assignment will be given to you. All right. So, any confusion, any doubts? All right, OLSM. Any confusion, any doubts, anyone about the class? Because today there is some time for 5 minutes, so I have kept this 5 minutes for only discussion because there are 5 students present in the today's class. So this is a good strength. So any doubt? Okay, OLSM. Yeah, you are Joseph. Hello. Yeah, tell me, Joseph. Yeah, Joseph, tell me. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, Joseph, your answer is that the main concern is that C is a basic language. In this we have defined so many basic concepts because until and unless you are not aware of the C, because C provides a basic concepts like for loop, while loop. So this is the mother language. Like for you, there is a different mother language. For India, there is a different mother language. Agree? So in the same way, in a programming concept, C is a basic language or mother language. Every person must learn the C before going to the next step, that is for C Sharp, C++, Java, .NET. But C is a basic concept. This is based on the module oriented, that is we are working on the module oriented approach. So this is the main advantage. Any other doubts, anyone? Yes, you are awesome. Yeah. Mhm. Oh, okay, okay. Just go to the one site. That site is known as filehippo.com. You can note down the spelling. F I L E H I double P O double P O. Filehippo.com. In this you have to go and simply write for the search, that is turbo C for the Windows. In your computer, what is the Windows version? Windows 7 or Windows XP? Yeah, so simply write turbo C for Windows 7. The same which I shown you, that is also shown up, because my window is Windows 7. The same screen will shown up. Yeah. That will ask you either for 32-bit version or 64-bit version. There is no as such criteria. Okay. One comment is coming from Olesam that the practical has made the class interesting. Yes, I also agree with you. Because when we are dealing with the theory, there is so much boring concept. But when we are using with the practical part, some question arises from your point of view, some question arises from my point of view. So that makes the class interesting. One thing I want to ask from, are we still going to do .NET as well? I don't think so in this semester, but I have to see for the next semester. Maybe the .NET is available. So I have to see this. I'm not committing anything right now, because I have to see the syllabus for the next semester. Now everyone tell me if the, yes, yes, tell me. Yes. How much time you need? The main thing is that in January and I'm on leave for some days, so that time will be suitable for you, because at that time there will be a recorded session for your classes, because I'm going somewhere. There is some construction work, so there is some work. So at that time you are able to cover up all these things. Okay. Then welcome. Now everyone tell me, how is your class? You feel it is interesting, boring, or maybe 50-50? Everyone tell me. What's your opinion about this? Yes. But if we interact like this one, like we are interacting right now, so this becomes more interesting session. That's why I've kept 5 minutes for this one, because there are good strength today. So I kept, yes, I have to talk with everyone, so that you are also feel that, yeah, this is a good class, this is a good teacher, and there are so many concepts. But the main thing is that your cooperation, my cooperation, both works well. Then only the class works well. Yes. So that's all. Any other, anyone, any comment, anything you want to say, you want to ask from me? Yes, tell me. Okay. So, okay, okay, okay. You think the, you means you are not able to cover up, or you are not able to access the link over there. It is in read only mode. Okay. 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 Just all right. So just give me 1 or 2 days. I will take this problem, and I will take the solution for this problem. All right. Okay, so thanks a lot everyone. Thank you so much. So that's all for today's session. Today I also okay, today I also got a very yeah, hello. Yeah, tell me. Pardon, what is your question? Okay, because Indian students are getting or coming to the institute directly. Directly we are communicating through the whiteboard, through the projector. So there is no need for the online teaching in India because everything is nearby and every student is coming to me and I teach that student by using the whiteboard, by using the marker, by using the projector directly. Yes. So that's But I think this program is very interesting because this program tells you the brief idea or basic idea what you are going to tell. So thanks a lot. Bye bye everyone. Okay, bye bye.